Lesson 15, brain training. Well, the benefits here are very clear. There are ways research tells us that you can improve your cognitive function quite rapidly, and with better cognition, with effectively higher intelligence, everything gets a bit easier, a bit more effective, a bit quicker. Well, how can you grow your IQ? Research published only a few years ago suggests there's a relatively simple way, and it's a software task. So linked here is some free software that's very effective, conforms with the original research, and what this software does is it tests and builds your working memory. So if I were to ask you, what is 14 times 17? You can probably do that in your head fairly quickly. 10 times 17, 170. 4 times 70 is 40 plus 28, 68. 170 plus 68, and so on. What you're doing there is working your working memory. You're building that muscle of holding a bit of information in the memory for the short term, discarding some bits, using other bits, recombining. And that's how you would do the mental arithmetic. But if I ask you to devise a new learning strategy or write a new business plan for an organization, it's just the same kind of operation going on in your brain. That kind of intense cognition, all intelligence, it turns out, depends quite heavily on an effective working memory. So if you can build up that muscle, if you like, in the brain, everything gets better. More specifically, your IQ will grow 10 to 20 points in 3 to 4 weeks. You want to train on this task for around 20-25 minutes a day for around 5 days a week, and try and build up to at least 20, maybe target 21 sessions. Now, it's quite intensive, it's hard work, it's a bit like weight training for the brain, tough, challenging. Keep going. Try not to do a few sessions. Try to do at least 20. Take an IQ test before and after. You will, in all probability, see quite a significant gain in your IQ. Now, there are other ways to build intelligence, better diet, so lots of green vegetables, fruits, nuts, and so on. The Mediterranean diet is linked with better cognition. Exercise, particularly aerobic exercise, and particularly aerobic exercise, walking, running, cycling, what have you, outdoors is good for the brain. A lot of people we know are slightly sleep deprived, so if you can research better sleep, that might help you. Nootropics, I would suggest maybe don't use the attention deficiency medication. That can have health risks, but there are relatively safe drugs such as piracetam or Noopept, which have benefits for focus and memory, clarity of thought in general. Those are almost certainly safe. With piracetam, try to take a choline source, such as choline bitartrate, otherwise you might end up with a terrible headache. And with those drugs, you might want to cycle on and off, so you might want to use them, let's say, when you've got a particularly demanding task, or maybe fairly regularly for a month, then take a month off, and so on. There are ways of applying direct current to the brain. Very mixed evidence in the research, so probably stay clear for that for now. But you can read on the internet, applying a small direct current to the scalp has reportedly some benefits for memory and focus. And of course, the several thousand-year-old practice that is meditation has proven benefits for clarity of mind, memory, neuroplasticity, stress relief, and other things, all good for your brain. Lesson 15 summary. You can build your IQ 10 to 20 points in 3 or 4 weeks over, let's say, 21 sessions of 25-minute training. That can be done. The evidence is strong for that benefit. But several other methods have proven cognitive benefits. The athletic supplement creatine monohydrate, for example, a few grams per day, that can also add around 10 points of IQ. In the next lesson, we look at some of your frequently asked questions.